fate may or may not be real, but it doesn't benefit you to think about. You need to put as much effort as possible into the things that are important to you. Well, I tried to get that job I wanted, but I didn't get it, so it wasn't meant to be. But the reality is you may needed to have just tried 3 or 4 times. You ask someone, why do you believe in fate? And they will inevitably tell you that it's because they've seen or experienced things that no one can explain. And I might say, well, try to explain. Someone might point to a time when they were at a party and they ran into somebody with the same birthday, or they were on vacation somewhere and ran into someone they know. In the book, I use the plane crash example. There's a plane that crashes, and you were supposed to have been on it, but you got pulled over on the way to the airport and got a ticket and missed your flight. And you say, well, this proves that fate and God and destiny are all real things. But I say that getting pulled over doesn't mean anything, because out of the 300 people on the manifest that day, well, 3 of them got pulled over, and 2 of them got on the plane and died, and 1 of them didn't. And you might say, well, but this is still evidence that fate exists, because it was their fate to have gotten pulled over and yet still gotten on the plane and died. And there are 297 other people on the plane who died. And you might say, well, they just got a really serious dose of fate. But the other 297 people had really nothing interesting happen to them on their way to the airport, and yet they experienced fate all the same. The problem is, when nothing interesting happens, we say that's also fate. But if that's the case, then amazing coincidence isn't evidence of fate if everything, interesting or not, is our fate. So whether the end result was positive or negative, when someone avoids a plane crash because they got pulled over and were given a ticket on their way to the airport, we say it proves that fate is real. When someone gets onto a plane and it crashes, we say it's fate. With that logic, our first example, where someone got a ticket on their way to the airport, can't be indicative of fate because fate doesn't follow a particular outcome, neither positive nor negative. So the proponents of fate refute the evidence we use to support it. Nearly every single flight has people who don't make their flight. Airlines intentionally overbook every single flight they can, knowing that a percentage of people will not show up. So this is not a matter of evidence that supports fate or God. It's evidence of statistical ignorance. Do you know how many people need to be at a party in order for it to be statistically more likely than not that someone in that room shares a birthday? Just 23. If you ask 100 people to call a coin toss, heads or tails, in the air 10 times, someone in that room will likely call it correctly all 10 times in a row.